personal value level. How do you know your PVL is going to elevate in this country? Easy. The proof is in the pudding. Most people don't have $3,000 saved up for a miniature what? Emergency. Most people don't have 6 to 12 months saved up for a true what? Emergency. Most Americans are buried in what? Yeah. Most Americans are not doing what every month? Investing. Most Americans are overpaying their what? Taxes. Most Americans don't have a future at all as far as it relates to being able to do what they want to do, when they want to do it, how they want to do it. So how do we know MyECon will raise your PVL? Easy. We just proved that most Americans need you. Right. So your PVL is already high because of the demand. Now let's prove that your PVL is even higher. Are most Americans teaching what we teach? No. Your PVL just went up again. Because we said PVL is established by, is there a lot of competition? In other words, there are a lot of people teaching what we teach. And this is a specialized skill set. Now we got the third factor that not even the 4 surgeons have. I keep doing this, that's the brain. We got the third factor, which is we even bring in something called leverage. Now your PVL is sky high. You got something everybody in the country needs, because we've proven that they don't know it. Everybody's not teaching this, because if they were, then we wouldn't have all those people in that situation. Right. And then when you teach the business building aspect of it, you give yourself leverage, which means we help more people, which means your PVL goes even higher. So your personal value level is going to go up, because you always hear, I have to say this as well, education is subject specific. It's subject specific. See, this is not a knock against your degree, because I have one, so don't take this personal. But now, since people are willing to even get in debt to do it, even your degree has lost value. Wow. See, college used to be something, see, think about it. Your degree used to have more PVL because everybody couldn't go. Like, if you didn't get a scholarship, academic, athletic, if mama and pop didn't save up enough, you just didn't go. So people who went and actually finished, that was scarce. Like, what, you got a bachelor's? Oh, you hired. Now, people get in debt to do it. Can't afford it, don't worry about it. We just pay for it 2 or 3 times, student loans. And now, the PVL of the bachelor's has dropped because now the competition is fierce. Now you got to get your master's. Now that's even what? Drop. You got PhDs who can't get jobs. So specialized knowledge is the key. I wake up every day and I ask myself, how can I increase my PVL, my personal value level? Brian has just I've chosen to do it through personal growth and self-development. That's why I have my speaker course and all those things where I help individuals get stronger, get tougher. I help people with effective time management, government contracts, conflict resolution. I walk in and I teach, like a young lady was saying here, she saw me on YouTube teaching a group of government employees. I teach officers in Charleston, South Carolina, Columbia, Knoxville, here in Atlanta, and Macon. They bring me in, I teach conflict resolution. Why are y'all not getting along? What's going on with management? Personality types is usually what it boils down to. Effective communication skills, leadership. That's years of personal growth and what? Self-development. So my PVL, every day I'm trying to learn something new to make sure I stay unique in the market. Then I got 20 years of network marketing experience. So network marketing companies will hire me to come in at their convention and speak. Usually it's still on personal what? Growth. Right. Then I create frameworks to help people simplify things. Leadership and personal growth. Now economic empowerment. See, so every chance you get, you want to learn something new in a distinct area for specialized knowledge that raises your value, which raises your income. So I'm about to give you a framework that's going to raise your specialized knowledge. Is that okay? Here's what you have to remember. When you're trying to fight poverty, I'm just using poverty as a strong word, but when you're trying to change your financial situation, you got to hit it a variety of ways. Now, I don't mean juggle apples and spin plates and people say multiple streams of income. We've already talked about the power of MyECon is that it has what I call synergistic alignment. In other words, that when the taxes go down, that same money going to pay your debt off. So one energy was put towards, created two streams. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Now, when you teach people how to do that, taxes got lowered. We use that money to pay off what? Debt. So that's two streams. Then I'm going to show somebody how to do that and earn business income. And that's three what? Streams. Then I'm going to lower my expenses because now that I got more cash flow coming in, I see that I got money that was going out. I'm smarter now. I'm going to bring my expenses down. That's another fourth what? Stream. Then I'm going to take the money from stream 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'm going to invest. That's stream what? 5. So it's the same effort going towards 5 streams. You see it? Okay, Brian, what are you saying? What I'm saying is you have to attack the business building the same way. You have to attack it different ways. The reason, where's the young lady? I think she left. She said she was struggling building. When you said look over your right shoulder? Oh, you came to the front. Okay, there she is. She said I'll come to the front on this. Okay, all right. I'm glad you're here. The reason a lot of people struggle with this is because they don't understand. I want you to attack the prospects a variety of different ways using the same energy. Here's what I mean. When you do a one-on-one and you tell your testimony, or you pull out, basically I hit the top of MyEcon's comp plan by creating 5 sheets of paper. And we sit down with people and I show you how $5,000 on a credit card can cost you $35,000. Right? I call that the bloody mess, because by the time it's over, you just bleeding out in debt. I have another sheet called 2, 4, 3. 2 objectives, 4 challenges, 3 solutions. When I sit down with you, we're talking about one of my 5 sheets, because I just want to give you a quick education. The other one is called the banker's secret, the rule of 72. I didn't make this stuff up. I just branded it, and then I taught my team to educate people on one of these sheets. They will then ask, where can I get more what? Information. And then you sign them up. That's called addition. You're adding people to your group. June just went over the comp plan. So when you're an MD, you say, all right, what do I do? I'm excited. What do I do? Simple. Start adding people to your group. How do I add people? Educate people. Write that down. Addition equals education. So you're new. You want to get up and running. What do I need to start doing? Start educating people. I don't care if you do it via Facebook Live. I don't care if you do it via YouTube stream. I don't care if you do it via one-on-one with the sheets. I don't care if you do it with 3 or 4 people at work. Start educating people. I got so excited about the things that I was learning, I just started talking to people and teaching them what I was learning. I wasn't trying to get you to sign up. I was trying to show you how to change your finances. You gonna sign up. Absolutely. Because it takes for you to sign up to do what I'm talking about. Because you don't have a home-based business. So I didn't have to sell the business or try to convince you to do anything. I would just let you know that I'm involved with a group of people and we're changing the way the world views finances. I would educate people and add to my team. So the first thing I did when I saw the compensation plan, I said, okay, over here, the wider you go, the more money you make. You got to go, the wider you go. So I set a goal. I said, I'm going to have at least 10 people personally sponsored. How did I do it? I pulled out my sheets. I gave you the blank one. I had the answer key, and I just looked smarter than you. Yours was blank, mine wasn't. I'm like, okay, let's do this. We're going to talk about the rule of 72 today. The rule of 72 is the banker's secret. You know what I'm saying? Now I got it memorized. The rule of 72, take interest rate divided into 72, take how long it take your money to double, and all that. So now I developed 3 people. This guy's 29, this guy's 29, this guy's 29. This person gets 4%, this person gets 6%, this person gets 12%. 4 goes into 72, it's going to take you 18 years. This person's going to take 12 years, this person's going to take 6 years. This is the bank, they get 600,000. This is you got 40,000. You want to be the bank? They're like, yeah. I'm like, you gotta have a home-based business to do this. In a nutshell. So I would just sit down. They had the blank sheet. I had the answer key. I got 10 people minimum to say, I like this. So I added to my group. See, when you are trying to change your situation, you got to do it a variety of what? Ways. Using the same effort. So after addition, I started to multiply my group. Write down multiplication equals strategy sessions / Super Saturdays. This is what multiplies your group. I'm going to show you guys how to get more people here. See, I open with my whole training. If you build the training will build you. But you got to build the training. Then we build you. Iron sharpens what? Iron. So, you multiply your group with strategy sessions and Super Saturdays. This is what multiplies your group. So first we add, then we multiply, and then in school you learn divide, but not here. You don't want to divide your group. Please don't divide. See, a lot of people, y'all can divide your group. No, the next ramp up is exponents. First you add, then you multiply, then you grow your group expo what? Exponentially. That's when I teach the online piece. So I say all of this to say before I dive into, so today's topic is multiplication. We're going to do the middle one today. How to get more people what? Here. How to get more people here. But I want to make sure it's in context so you never forget. So what was all that stuff June just talking about? Well, the W4 and the cash flow and delimitation, you're using that to get people with what form of math? That's how you add people. You see what I'm saying? Education is where you add people. But now we got to take that group and hurry up and take them while you got them captivated and multiply those people. Then we're going to take all of them, teach them, raise their PVL by showing them how to expand on what? Line. Then you build new relationships online and you come back and you multiply that group. Then that group continues to add more what? People. So after a while, it reverses. Now your exponents start multiplying. They add more people. They then add more people who multiply and learn how to build what? Online. It's like a beehive. It's one queen bee in there that everybody's working for. Now the queen bee, all of them create this honey or whatever, but they all got to go out and pollinate and do what's, in the ecosystem what works. The worker bees go out, pollinate. We see the pollen. All of them bring more honey. Bring more pollen back to the what? Hive. Then they to the queen. Then they all go back what? Out. See, that's how the business works. You got to come back to the hive. Super Saturdays, in-home meetings. We teach you how to go back online. The business is not built online. That's just where you go get more what? People. But then we all got to come back and build relationships and get to what? Know each other. Then we all go back and get more people. So you get online to get offline. Then you get offline and learn how to get more people what? Online. See, you got to attack this thing. People say, man, there's so many moving parts. No, it's not. Not if you keep it in perspective. The W4 and the testimonies and the conference call, that's to get your first wave of addition in. But now we got to teach you how to multiply that, and then we teach you how to grow it online. You got to grow your money and increase your PVL doing all three of these techniques. That's what just makes me different. I don't just focus on one way to do the business. I know how to do capture pages and funnels. I know how to do in-home meetings. And I know how to sit down with you and do a one-on-one worksheet. Either way, we're going to add, multiply, or explode. It's all growth. You understand what I'm saying? It's all growth. It's all growth. So anything you do in this business, as long as it's growth oriented and you're not getting caught up in politics and you're not getting caught up in what other companies are doing and why they're better than us, and I see too many people, you worried about the wrong thing. You need to be worried about your rate of return. That's why it's called a personal financial success company. It's about your rate of return. I'm going to increase your PVL today to give you a greater and higher rate of return so you can stop getting fooled by, this company. People kill me, man. Like, they'll hit me with their roadside is this and our roadside is that. Like, you're missing the whole thing. I don't care what MCA doing. I don't care what prepaid legal doing. I don't care what some online shopping mall doing. You are making a mistake of thinking that our legal service, our roadside assistance, and our shopping mall is our business. And you caught up with some clown out here that all they do is roadside, and you want to have a roadside discussion. You caught up with some client that got a mall. Now you want to call me and ask me what percentage of tissue we get. They pay 4% per tissue, and we do 2% per. You missed the point. Right. These are ancillary products. The income shifting membership is what we do. Now find me a company and we can put those side by side. Yeah. But I'm not going to argue with you about $2 on roadside. Right. You're missing the point. Right. Your personal finances is what we teach. These are income streams that as you build a large organization, the reps can market to people they come across who may need it. It's not for you to get in a battle with other so-called MLMs about who got more tissue CV. Absolutely. Am I clear? Yeah. So we're going to raise your PVL. Here's how. We're talking about, now let's do a recap. Addition via what? Education. Education. You got to get out here and start adding nothing happens till you add a few people to your team. Absolutely. Multiplication through in-home meetings, also known as strategy what? And super what? Then you grow your business exponentially for those of you who want to learn how to build where? Online. But that's not the key to business building. Great relationships aren't built online. You just meet online. You still got to get with those people and bring them back down to the Super Saturdays in-home meetings so they can learn how to add, and you keep going back and forth with the same energy. Here's what you do. No matter what, I call those gears or speed. Whether you add, multiplying, or exponentially growing, whether you add, exponentially growing, multiplying, or adding, here's what you have to do. It's called strategic enrollment. I should patent that. I should, whatever you call it, trademark it. Strategic enrollment. The name of this game to get a lot of people in your organization is to move people to action without touching them. So you can't force feed people. You can't, they say, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. You have to learn how to move people to action without touching them via what I call strategic enrollment. In other words, by the time I'm done with you, you don't even know that I really enrolled you in a business. You were just so excited, and the way I did it was so strategic that it's easy for you to do, and you want to get more people in front of me. The problem with most people who try to become professional networkers is you miss this. It's not your presentation that gets them. Right. It's your representation. Tell you what I mean. I want you to write that down. It's not your presentation that sponsors the prospects. It's your representation. In other words, how easy or hard did this appear to be? Give an example. I see people do this all the time. All right, Brian, we're going to have a career fair, and we need chairs, we need this, we need that, we need a trade booth, we're going to have your DVD in the back with you on the monitor, and we need all of this and all of that. And they walk in, and they looking like salespeople. And this representation is not something I want to be a part of. Guys, I don't care what nobody tell you. It's not going to work. Right. Because the hustle alone looks, I'm like, man, this look tough. Right. The representation of your business killed it for me. Because, so I got to have a TV in the back, the speakers, the booth, the MyECon banner, the tables, the chairs, this and that. All right, give me a pamphlet. I go home and think about it. And you don't even know this, but like prospects don't even know this because it's psychological. It's not that I didn't like it. I didn't even give it a chance. It looked too tough. Right. So I'm going to get a pamphlet and I'm gone. When I go to cities, people say, Brian, where's your stuff? I'm like, you downloaded the sheets, didn't you? Yeah, that's the stuff. I need it to look simple. Everybody got a pen? Yeah. Everybody got those sheets or those blanks? Yeah. Let's fill them in. Now, when they leave, they got one sheet of paper. They go home and explain this to their wife. Baby, you ever heard the bank's secret? This is crazy. The banks get 72. You know what I'm saying? The banks get 12%. We're sitting around here getting 4%. When we're 65, we have 40,000. The bank in the same amount of time got 600,000. We need to fix this. I just met this guy. See, the representation has to be simple. So when I come in with the sheets and the host has downloaded the sheets and we fill them in, everybody's signing up. Because I didn't come in looking like a salesperson. You see the difference? Strategic enrollment makes your representation smooth when you get good at it. Here are the steps to the short version. At Game Changer, I'm going to teach all 8 steps, but the 5 steps that are the core are the following. Step 1, prospect. Step 2, peek and pass. Peek/pass. That's where most of you guys drop the ball on your pass. I'm going to show you how to fix that today. Prospect is step 1. Peek and what? Pass. That's step 2. 3, present. Present. 4, plug. I'll explain what this means. Plug, like a plug or a socket, a plug. And 5 is promote. So when I wake up, if you need some money and you trying to hit gold, you trying to hit platinum, all you guys should be on your way to infinity. Infinity should be in your sights. Prospect, peek and pass, present, plug, and promote. Prospect, peek and pass, present, plug, and promote. Prospect, peek and pass, present, plug, and promote. Like your ABCs. Say them with me.
Prospect, peek and pass, present, plug, and promote.
You won't make no money like that. Say it again.
Prospect, peek and pass, present, plug, promote.
That's the 5 steps of strategic enrollment. Now, let me show you what I mean by this. This is why you got to do everything systematic. When you're in business, you got to find out where your problems are quick. That way, if you ever struggle and you need to know what's going on, you can't look all over the place and try to figure out what's wrong. Let me give you an example. If we own a McDonald's and first sales were really up and now they're really down, it could be a number of things, man. Number 1, some employees could be what? Still, that's 9 times out of 10. Burgers going out the back. Because the employees don't understand you in business, so they don't realize that them burgers going out the back cost you a ton over time, right? So, but they're an employee, they're not the business owners, so they don't think like that. All right. Number 2, Wendy's could open up down the way, street. So that's competition. Number 3, our customer service could be what? Terrible. Number 4, our margins could be getting a lot smaller because the meat and everything, the lettuce and everything. Like, y'all don't understand, but like at McDonald's, man, like, believe it or not, most of the money, a friend of mine owns 6 Burger Kings. He said most of the money, Ryan, is in the drinks.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Right.
I said, what? Yeah, man, these straws, man. When they come out with these specials where you just get the Whopper for $1, it kills the franchise owner. Because everybody come in, especially in the poor communities, they want the Whopper for what? $1. But they're not getting no drink. They'll drink water at home. The straw is like a penny. But you paid 99 what? Cents. They get the straw and the cup for like 3 cents. But you biggie size it for 99.
That's right.
Oh, what's my phone? Oh, yeah. So, I just get excited about it. I'm like, that's crazy. So my point is, if you're on a franchise and numbers go down, our margins got changed due to the cost of goods. Employees could be what? Stealing. Competition could open up what? Down the street. A lot of things could be happening. So the franchise owner has to go, wait, what's going on? In our business, it's simple. I can tell you what your problem is with 5 steps. If your Super Saturdays are not packed out, people not peeking and passing. Right. The answer is always the previous what? Step. If people aren't peeking and passing, it's because they don't have no list of what? Prospects. If people are not getting promoted, it's because they're not plugging into what? The system. If people are not plugging into training, it's because ain't nobody coming to your what? Presentation. See, I got to be able to solve it quick. Like, hold on. Our numbers are down. The training numbers are down. Or vice versa is true. If the training numbers are up, I can promise you it's because a lot of people have been coming to what? What's the button? Oh, plug, by the way, is training. So if the training numbers are up, the previous step is what got them what? Presentation. If the presentation numbers are up, it's because a whole bunch of people peeking and what? Passing. If a whole bunch of people peeking and passing, because we got a whole lot of people who are out what? Prospecting. If a whole bunch of people get promoted, Infinity's popping, Platinum's popping, Golds are popping, I know a lot of people getting well what? So when I need to understand what's wrong, I'm like, hold on. Somewhere in the 5 steps, we got to fix this. See, as a business owner, you got to be able to, if you got a leak, you got to be able to plug it what? You got to be able to plug it quick. You can't be saying, something wrong, everything going wrong. No. Somewhere in the system, we got to get back focused and get it popping. So, y'all ready? Let's cover them real quick. Then we'll bring up Mr. Stokes. Y'all ready? Prospecting is simple. It's listening. Prospecting is listening. See, once you become a MyECon associate, or once you embark on anything new, something ignites called your RAS filter. Right. And your RAS filter, it's a long neurological term. I don't even remember what it means, but it's like a long neurological term. But what that means is your awareness and your acuity heightens because now you've been exposed to something new. Well, I would say it's just like when you get a new car. You swore yours was the only one. You got a red Mustang, and you're like, hey, don't nobody have this. And the minute you pull off, it's 4 people at each. And every light is a red Mustang. Now, either one or two things just happened. Every dealership in the city just said, all right, let all the Mustangs go. Or they've always been there, you just haven't been what? You're paying attention. Well, now what's going to happen is you start hearing, now that you're in MyECon, all we talk about is getting better rates of what? Return. All we talk about is eliminating what? Debt. All we talk about is creating positive what? Cash flow. See how you just fill in the blanks? Because we family. So you start thinking like this, and now your RAS filter activates, so your conversations sound different now. Yeah. So your prospecting and your mental acuity should go what? Up. Now, before MyECon, you were probably part of that conversation. Girl, I know that's right. We need more overtime. Man, I know that's right. The credit card's killing me because you didn't have anything to differentiate you from the masses. But MyECon pulls you out of that. So now your mental acuity should go up. When you hear a person say, "These 2 jobs just kill me," see, the old you would have been like, "Man, I know that's right. I got 2 jobs too." The new you should be like, you do know that whatever you're making on your second job, you can make that up in tax differences. Tax savings. I'm telling y'all right now, most people's second job don't pay enough. It's just they're doing that because they think that that's what they need to do just to get over that little hump. The tax savings will make up that $900. You see? So now that you're in MyECon, let me tell you what the danger is in a good way. You start hanging around us so much, you forget how bad people need you. Like for real. Because in your mind, you start just like, everybody know about the W-4. No, they don't. No. Everybody you around do. You see what I'm saying? So you got jaded. You forgot that this person, I guarantee you, this young lady, I don't even know who she is, got a nice banners up, having some seminar around there. I guarantee you, if we were to walk in there and do like a W-4 check, 99.9% of the people in there, no matter what they learn about social media, no matter, it's not knocking against her, I do that for a living. I'm just saying, I guarantee you'll be shocked. It's people right in this hotel who still got $600, $700 a month on the table left. Absolutely. Because they don't know W-4. But you sitting around here like, everybody know W-4. No, everybody you know it. So when what's my point under this prospecting thing? When you prospecting, you got to go back to the original you remember when you didn't know it? Remember your light bulb went off? It's about 300 million light bulbs that need to go off still. How many of those do you want in your team? All of them. All at least minimum 10. June has solidified that in your brain. How many of those people do you want? So I'm always prospecting. I'm always fishing. People say, Brian, how do you do that? I do it the same way. It's whether I'm online or in person, I ask questions. Now, let me tie prospecting and peeking and passing. Prospecting is the art of what? Listening. Making sure you always keep fresh ears and eyes to get prospects that you can peek. So prospecting is the listening phase. You got to become a better listener when you're in business because people all around you are talking and your RAS filter, your mental acuity should not be what? High. But Prospecting means nothing if you don't open your mouth and ask a question. What is peaking? Peaking is asking questions. Prospecting is listening, but peaking is asking questions. Nothing happens until you pique interest. Piquing interest is first gear, guys. It's first gear. People not just going to jump out and call you, I heard you in MyECon. I wish it was that easy. They're just not going to knock on your door. Hey, your neighbor not coming. You in something new? No. I wish. But it can start feeling like that if you do these 5 steps properly. You'll be shocked at how many people you start to attract. Prospecting is listening. Peaking is asking what? Questions. Here's why. Now, my degree is in English. I graduated in '97. I was going to law school, and then I went to my first network marketing presentation, and it just derailed everything. My sophomore year in college, I went to a presentation up in Decatur. The gentleman who actually I saw do my first presentation actually passed away last week. He changed my life. I couldn't believe. I'm like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me every time people pay their long distance bills, I can get a percentage? I was too young and naive to know that just made, like, I didn't have any fears. So I was 19 at Morehouse with an English degree, or getting an English degree, and saw one presentation, heard the man say, every time they pay their long distance bills, you get a percentage. And I've worked in 22 years because of that. So this just shows you that people are, if you listen, if you talk and say the right things, the right person is what? Listening. But are you asking the right questions to get them to talk? See, my point is I have an English degree, but you ain't been taught, so I was taught how to speak. They didn't teach me how to present and all that, but they taught me speaking skills. Network marketing really taught me how to speak and train, but you've never been taught, you never had one course on listening. You see? So the only way to improve your listening skills is to get the other person to what? Talk. The only way to get another person to talk is to ask them what? You have to. You have to. Absolutely. The problem with a lot of you guys, you trying to sell MyECon and you don't know what the person's needs are. Right. The only way for me to, this is just basic sales 101 in anything. The only way for me to know what your needs are is I got to ask you some basic what? Questions. Here are my favorite peak questions. 1, have you ever heard of? They all start with that. And then I just put something on the end. They all start with have you ever heard of? Because I know the answer is going to be no. Because you've never heard of anything I'm about to tell you. How do I know? Because we made them up. Right. So I know you heard of it because we coined these phrases. No, seriously. Have you ever heard of, my favorite is, of course, income shifting. It's just catchy. It's just the best one. It's the most generic one. And it sounds cool. Have you ever heard of income shifting? They're going to say what? No. My next favorite one. Have you ever heard of the 369 financial transformation? I know you have because I made it up. Right? My third favorite one is my personal brand. Have you ever heard of extra digit? No. What's that? So the question becomes, Brian, when they say no, what's that? What's next? I'm glad you asked. You're going to pass them something that explains it. Not you. Not you. Not you. When you're new, write this down. If you're new, be new. It is okay. But what we do, especially some of my seniors, you feel like all the stuff you learn, it's time to show them what you know. Yeah. You don't know what income shifting is? Well, see, tax withholdings. And see, when you do that, you lost them. You know why? Your representation just killed it. Not your presentation. See, when you ask, have you ever heard of income shifting? And you immediately go into W-4, tax withholdings, eliminating debt. Give me your business card, I'm going to get with you. They've heard that before. They've heard that before. You have to make it where you move them to action without what? Touching them. Have you ever heard of income shifting? No, what's that? It's the rules of the wealthy that they never taught you in school. That's like my blanket. It's the rules of the wealthy that they never taught you in school. Because everybody hates being left out of a secret. It's the rules of the wealthy they never taught you in school. What is that? Give me your name and number. I'm gonna hit you with a link, and it'll explain it to you. See, people wonder why I stay young and fresh, and I'm not stressed out. Because I got a systematic approach to things. I'm not gonna sit here and even though I could explain to you what the W4 is, how most people have it filled out wrong, how the main line is line 4 on the back, how the front, like 9 times out of 10, you haven't looked at in 15 years. When I start using those terms, the representation is going to turn off most people. So that I can give it to you in a way that you'll appreciate it, I'm going to let a system do it so you eventually will say, that was easy. Some of y'all are so proud of what you've learned, and that's cool, but you trying to give it all out on the first encounter. And that's, quite honestly, a turnoff for most people. I love it, but most people just can't handle it. They can't handle all of that because they don't even know what the W4 is. So you got to give it to them a better way. What is income shifting? What is extra digit? What is the 369 financial transformation? I'm sorry, have you ever heard what? They say no. I'm then going to give them a tool that explains it. Now, y'all know me. I don't care who team you on. My stuff is open for any and everybody. All I can do is train you on what works and where it is. Right. Now, corporate is doing some cool sites. I mean, like by the end of the year, third, fourth quarter, you're going to have all kind of sites, developments, capture pages, everything. I'm just going to tell you, I have a site, and it says, if you can watch a sitcom in 30 minutes, right. This will change your life in 22. It takes 22 minutes. The first video is 9, the next one is 4, the next one is 6, and I think the last one is 8 or whatever. HowToShiftYourIncome.com is what I pass all my people to. HowToShiftYourIncome.com. That's what I pass all my people to. Now, I'm telling you how to be systematic and strategic. The name of this game is we, as MyECon associates, should own Atlanta. Every other network marketing company should be like, I don't know what they're doing in MyECon, but ain't nobody coming to our meetings on Saturdays no more because they all down there at the Crown Plaza. They all up there at the Doubletree. What is MyECon doing? I'm gonna show you how we have to make this happen. But this is real quick. When I send them to HowToShiftYourIncome.com, all 4 videos, and big and bold in the middle of the website, it says, text the person who sent you to this website, keyword $34.95. Now my group, they wake up all day with text messages. $34.95, $34.95, $34.95, $34.95. Right? My text and my Google Voice, $34.95, $34.95. Now the prospects have put the power back in our hands. You went to the site. How do I know? Because you didn't know to text me that until you went to the site. I'm already on step what? 3. You've been prospected, you've been peaked, you've been passed, and you've been presented to, all within 22 minutes. Wow. You've been prospected because I told you to go to I obviously heard something that triggered that we need to have some discussion. I peaked you by asking you ever heard of income what? Shifting. I then sent you to HowToShiftYourIncome.com. The website says, text the person, keyword what? $34.95. Then guess what? On that same site at the bottom, they plug into training. Same site. Now when I did this, people lost their mind. Brian, you gonna give them the training before they join? Yeah, it's just enough. Trust me, they can't do nothing with it without us anyway. Right. It ain't like that. If it was that easy, they'd have did this without us. Right. I put everything at the bottom. Right. Start, share, and stay. Just, if y'all notice, everything I do is just simple terms. Here's what you do to get started. Here's what you do to share it. Here's what you need to stay plugged into. Just enough training to get that person to go, man, not only did I get my membership, but they got some quick steps for me to do when. Now, start, share, stay. They already on step what? 4. Then I get them promoted to EVP. They on step what? 5. Now we do that again. Prospect, peak and pass, present, plug, and promote. Prospect, peak and pass, present, plug, and promote. Now my group is on autopilot. Now I sift through and see who the leaders are. They learn leadership training. They learn some of the more robust things because only 20% of your group is responsible for your income. The other 80% just responsible for your residual check. They're just on the membership. Make sense? let me rephrase that. Only 20% of your group is actually building a team.
Right.
80% is got the membership. So you win with them too. But stop trying to make 80%ers 20s. That's what's killing you.
That's a good one.
And stop ignoring your 20% and treating everybody like 80.
Right.
I'm going to give you a good tip. 20% of your group deserves your individual time. 80% of your group deserves your group time. See, Cortez Stringer, Infinity. Andre Stinson, Infinity. Chuck Harden, all my platinums and infinities, they get individual time. Hey man, come by the house, let's have a conference call, just the 5 of us. We need to clean this up. I don't like how I see this happening. Just the 10 of us. They get individual time. Everybody else, team webinar, team Tuesday, because I don't have time to individually. Everybody else get the 80% group time. You got to know your 20%ers and you got to know your 80%ers. If you do these 5 steps right, remember, all ships rise with the tide. So if you do these steps right, your 80% is going to grow, and by natural law, so does what?
20%.
The 20. But you got to be strategic. You got to enroll people strategically. So, I answer your question in the back. People overcomplicate this business. People say, Brian, you walking this way, somebody walking that way. How you peek them? I don't. The circumstances didn't present themselves. I'm about to go, hey. I ain't saying peek. Oh, here comes somebody. Here he comes. You shaking? No, the circumstances didn't allow it. I didn't say solicit. I said prospect.
That's a good point. Good point.
You see what I'm saying? People, you think everybody, just Brian. So do you just go out and no? But when the opportunity presents itself, I'm not gonna miss it either.
Right.
See, if we have an encounter,
Right.
now I can prospect so I can peek and what? Pass. But I'm not looking for techniques to get the guy that's walking by. You know why? Who can tell me why that's not a good look? I just gave it away.
Yeah.
That's not a good look, is it? Because now that person thinks what?
They have to do it.
That's what they got to do. So they're gonna take your car because that's not a good look. So you gotta do it in such a way where a person says, "Now that was smooth. That was smooth." Joy, am I right? Does it work?
It works.
It works. Joy joined the business a long time ago. Me and Joy bumped into each other at a restaurant. She got back engaged. She got 2 people within.
30 days.
Yeah, she had EVP on her way to go in less than 30 days. Because she just started. She was like, you know what? I was doing it wrong before. Let me just do it this way.
Right.
So before I transition, I'm gonna close out one thing. Any questions on those steps? On those steps, like before I go further, prospect, peek and pass, get them to a what? Presentation. The presentation plugs them into training, and the training then gets them promoted. Now let me say this before I forget. This is important. Okay, so let me give you an example. Use momentum and group activity to build your business. Okay, so I have Game Changer every 4 months. I do one in February, I do one every summer in June, July, and I do one in October. Every 4 months. It's not, if y'all notice, I don't promote Game Changer like by going out working hard. Hey, you coming? You registered? You coming? You registered? No. If the team is prospecting, and the team is peeking and passing, and get people in front of a presentation, and get them into training, and they get promoted, they're going to eventually hear about what? They're going to hear about it. I don't go out and like make it and stress myself out. Either you coming or you not. But systems are in place to do that for me. What am I saying? When you guys are trying to get people here on a Saturday, it's not your call Friday night. That's not going to do it.
Right.
Hey, Ivan Stokes in the morning, Brian Beane. You get the flyer? That's not how you do it. You can do that, but you have 1, maybe 2 guests. The way to get the masses here every week is to have several miniature presentations during the week. Those promote everybody coming back to the Hive on the 15th. Everybody coming back to the hive on the 1st. What you're doing, you're using an addition method in a multiplication environment. You trying to get people, you ready? You gonna be available 9 o'clock Saturday? And y'all know, on Wednesday they are.
Right.
On Saturday, they not. Because something is bound. Oh man, you know, I looked at my grass this morning, man. It's just high. And I got to cut it, man. My wife gonna kill me. When's the next one? And here you. Okay, well, we do them every 1st and 15. And then, you see what I'm saying? But had you put them on a webinar, put them on a conference call this past Tuesday, change his W-4 this past Wednesday, and let him know that's just the beginning. He got to learn about it Saturday, then he bringing people with him Saturday. Write this down. Don't invite to recruit. Recruit to invite. A lot of y'all are inviting people so you can recruit them. And you trying to do the Friday night call, the Thursday night reminder. No. You recruit people so they can be inviting people. See, you doing an addition method in a multiplication. See, I told you, strategy sessions and Super Saturdays are what level? Multiplication. You supposed to be adding all week.
All week.
So they all bringing people, you multiplying on Saturday. You trying to add Friday night. And that's why you feel like it's taking forever to get you to platinum. If you strategically enroll people and have the in-home meetings, they promote the importance of being all together every 1st and 3rd what? Saturday. You don't have, see, you're doing it individually. The events promote your meetings is what I'm trying to tell you. See how that works? So now, my team in Memphis knows. Game changer. July 13, 14, 15. My team in Tampa knows. Game changer. My team in Missouri knows. Game changer. My team in Birmingham knows. Game changer. My team in Atlanta knows. Game changer. My team in Tupelo, Mississippi knows. Game changer. Chicago team knows. Game changer. DC team knows. Game changer. Not me. Y'all coming? Everybody coming? No. The system, all ships rise with the what? Tide. The miniature events promote the next event, promote the next event, promote the next event. You just got to start adding first, but the multiplication is where you're missing it. You got to have small meetings during the week to get them to bring their friends on Saturday. Strategic what? Enrollment. You don't have what?
I don't have no friends, so that's good. I was wondering how it's coming.
She said, I have no friends, so that's good. Well, you have strangers. The strangers are just friends you haven't met yet.
That's right.
So don't say I don't have any friends. You want to start developing what's called a common market. Right. So it's 3 markets: warm, cold, and common. And these days with social media, and I'm not talking about the term friends that they're using on Facebook, you all have colleagues or people in common.
Yep.
So what you should do is when you post something, ask what? Questions. See, you prospecting works the same way. Have you ever heard of income shifting in person, right? Same post. Have you ever heard of income shifting where? Online. It's the same what? Question. Questions control conversations. The person who asks the most questions wins. In sales, end of a deal, you want to use my pen or yours?
Right.
They closing the deal, right? Blue ink or what?
Black.
Black. You want to meet this morning or this after what? This afternoon. Lunch or breakfast? My place, yours. That's called alternative choices. When you give choices, people choices, they pick one. What they don't know is both of them are cool with you. My place or yours? Yours? Blue or black ink? Black? Breakfast or lunch? Lunch. All 3 was cool with me. So you felt like it customized for you. But when you provide people with different choices by asking what? Questions? They end up landing exactly where you need them to go. But they felt like they landed exactly where they wanted to go. Both were fine with you. My wish, aim for everybody listening and watching, is that over the next 2 weeks, you host/attend 3 in-home meetings. Watch what happens to your group. Watch what happens to your group when small pockets of people start getting in living rooms talking about money. Watch what happens to your group. I want y'all to think about this for a minute. And I'm done. I'm going to say this again. The goal is for you in the next 2 weeks to host and or attend at least 3 in-home meetings. Let me tell you why. This is important. And on Game Changer, I'm really going to break this down, but I'm going to give you a snippet of it due to time constraints. To be successful in network marketing, you need 2 things: volume and intimacy. You have to have both. You have to have volume, which is a lot of people, and you have to have intimacy, which is the relationships. The problem with you doing conference calls only, a lot of volume, no what?
Intimacy.
No intimacy. This is a voice. You don't know if they're at home doing dishes. You don't know if they're listening. You hope.
Right.
Webinar, great. Lot of volume, no what? Intimacy. One-on-one, incredible intimacy. No what?
No volume.
No volume. You got to try and do that all your life. Meet everybody for lunch and all that. Atlanta traffic. You like, man, I can't be doing these one-on-ones. Am I right?
Yes.
In-home meeting. A lot of volume. It's the only technique where you can get crazy volume, and it's a lot of what? Intimacy. You got to have both. Conference calls are cool, but there's no intimacy. One-on-ones are cool, but there's no volume. That in-home meeting, nothing beats it. Let me prove it to you. Here's the problem. You're going to invite 18 people. 5 are going to show. And you're going to think about the 13 that didn't, so you think it failed. You missed it. You missed it. You missed it. It's the representation. The 5 that show. If that happened with 10 people in your group this week, 50 showed.
Right.
You see? Because the presentation looked so simple. These 5 people said, I need one of these at my house next week.
Right.
Next week. Because the representation looked what? Simple. So you so mad at the 13 that didn't show?
Right.
In your mind, you got to get over this. It looked like a flop. You missed it. These 5, each want to have one next week. And you missed it. Yours wasn't the only one in your group that happened tonight. 10 people had one of these, and 5 showed up at each one. If only 2 people join at each one, 20 people join your group tonight. They all in your base shop, that's $400 you made. 20 times what? 25. You made $400 tonight. How many of these small in-home meetings do you want happening throughout the country? As many as you can go, as many as you can have. It's the in-home meeting, people.
Absolutely.
Now, at the in-home meeting, everybody's saying this Saturday you got to be where? There won't be enough seats in here. It won't. It won't be enough seats. I'm telling you what I've experienced. I've been part of organizations where you had to shut the door at 9, take a break. Now, they lined up down and around. We shutting the door at 9, people mad and everything. You told me this, ma'am, I'm sorry. Because I used to do the door. This is when I was young. I used to do the, ma'am, they used to put me at the door for some reason. Brian, you know how to calm down. Ma'am, we got to open the doors up again. I promise you in 45 minutes. We're going to take a break. We're going to be able to let y'all in. I mean, people, the doors are bulging because so many in-home meetings happening and the excitement on the other side of this door, you couldn't stop people from coming to the meetings. Now, I'm telling you, when MyECon get like that, it's going to be because of the group of people in this room. And imagine this side and this side, all of these are your guests. That's where you had it when you start doing volume and intimacy. These are your guests and these are your guests. I don't mean your personals. Everybody in here, this is all your team and they all signing up tonight. Then they all go home to have an in-home meeting and invite 10 people each. You can't stop that growth. You can't stop it. But you got to stop trying to call people on Friday night, trying to get them to the Saturday meeting. That's addition. Questions? I'm gonna throw down the game changer. I'm telling y'all. I always warm up. I'm warming up.
Right.
The 13th, 14th, and 15th of July. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Mr. Stokes, think about it. Think about what we did. Everybody investing in June. People now learning early investment strategies. Then we're going to teach you how to build your business in July. Step by step, strategically. Breakout sessions, round tables, practicing, right? Real drill, what we call drill for skill. Mr. Stokes is going to be there teaching the financial piece. Me, my leaders, Infinities, all of us going to be there teaching you different peak interest techniques, passing techniques. I got new and improved tools. You tie all this stuff together, you Infinity by the end of the year. See, a lot of y'all think these goals are like long off. I'll get there one day. No, we're talking about December. December. What's happening 9 o'clock?
Right.
We're talking about December. Are the qualifications fair enough? It doesn't get more fair. It's fair enough right now. You think 400 and all that's tough. It is when you trying to meet with everybody one-on-one. Yeah. You don't lie to you. But when you start having in-home meetings and just passing around a sheet of paper and we fill the blanks in and then we ask each one of them, can we do one at your house next week? You'll be shocked how fast 25 people hit your group. Then you get that person to bring in 1,000 in 1 week and all that. Because you got the momentum, you start attracting networkers who can do it in their sleep. Yes, sir.
I was asked about those 5 sheets. Are they on site, online, where you can?
Yes, yeah. I call them wealth worksheets. Are on my site, extradigittraining.com. They each have a video of me. You'll see that you can download the sheet, and all you do is watch the video while I fill them in. Extradigittraining.com. All that's free. All that's there, and more, and some.
Can you tell us to just hone in on one of those?
Yeah, one of those sheets. Yeah. So if you're doing a webinar, you might say like 1 week I get really sick for whatever reason. I'm gonna stop claiming this. In December, for some reason, this bug just overcomes me, and I always have to come back with a vengeance. So I was sick in December. So 1 week for 7 days straight. Once I got my voice back, I did what's called a welcome, and every day I went over one of the sheets. Tonight we're doing the banker's secret. Tonight we doing the bloody mess. Tonight we doing the number 1 asset. Tonight we doing, so you just pull out a sheet and you just educate people. Now I was sick, so I was at home. But what I'm saying is, in your in-home meeting, you cover one of those sheets, and then subtly you promote the membership and where they can get more information, such as this. You see, it's called a value add. When you add free value to somebody, they want the rest. Some people call it reciprocity. In other words, if I give you this for free, you're gonna pay this for the rest. You see what I'm saying? So these days in business, reciprocity is what wins. I give away a lot of free stuff, and because I give away so much for free, it came what? It came back. Extradigittraining.com. For a game changer, GameChangerATL.com. That's where you go to register. GameChangerATL.com.
Oh, I wanted to put a plug in for anybody that's not on Brian's training. I normally exercise to him. When you go online to YouTube, it's little tidbit pieces. I start off just doing 10 minutes. Before I know it, I've done an hour.
I'm helping you work out.
Yeah, you are helping me work out. It's very educational. So you don't just have to be sitting there taking paper and pen. Maybe while you're cooking, or I know the men watch television. That's not a good time because you're not paying attention. But while you're driving, so sometimes we need to realize we have all this time. That's what me and my husband are working on. We have all this time. Are we properly using our time? So anytime you want to add something else on, don't always have the radio on. Don't always have the TV on. And I do a room test, and I take the time. When I walk in a room, I want to see if I can hear the air conditioner. In the kitchen, I want to see if I can hear the refrigerator. I listen for sound, so I don't have to be entertained. So me and my husband, we say, do you want to be educated, or do you want to be entertained? Is the TV educating us, or is it entertaining us? Is the radio educating us, or is it entertaining us? Because they're not the same. And I tell him, people who are entertainers, they already got paid. But when you get educated, you're getting paid.
There you go.
So try to go into a room and stop turning stuff on. Stop turning the radio on when you get in the car. Say, am I going to be entertained, or am I going to be educated?
Take it from somebody who's cash flowed $1 million. Y'all give it up for her. Give it up for her. She be up every time she see me. You got a video? We just uploaded some new stuff last week. 7 new videos just got uploaded last week. Really good stuff. Good. Questions on that? Y'all good? Strategic enrollment?
When I've never really been a fan of home meetings, but you just really enlightened me on this. My question is, when you invite people to these meetings, what exactly do you call them? I mean, do you put a name on them?
I call them strategy sessions.
Okay.
Because we're going to get together as a session and we're going to strategize. You can call it, millionaire mixer. People call them cool things. I just call them strategy sessions, which I'm thinking about changing. Okay. I got some cool stuff I'm about to roll out, and I'm about to make it even pop even more. Okay. But, yeah, don't call it a in-home meeting. Use strategy session. Okay. Yeah, it works. It's just something semantic.
That's
Business social.
Yeah, business social.
Yeah, good deal. So the man of the hour is here. Let's get this thing closed out with a bang. His insight just blows me away every time we talk. You ever met somebody every time you meet with them, you feel better when you leave? Yeah. Well, guess what? All y'all are about to thank you, man. All y'all are gonna feel much better now. Let's give it up for our CEO, Mr. Ivan Stokes.
Man, Brian and Beane already talked. Brian and Beane already taught us everything. I'm putting them together. Brian Beane. Brian June. Everybody's doing good today?
Yes, sir.
Everybody's happy today?
Yes, sir.
That's what it's all about. Being happy. Everybody getting ready for Father's Day?
Yes, sir.
That's my favorite day of the year, right? Got any fathers in the room today other than me? Lots of them. All right. That's what it's all about. Let's give all the fathers a big round of applause. That's a full-time gig, ain't it?
Yes.
And they said at the end of 25, you keep on going, don't it? It keeps on going. It's a good job, but I love that job. So, yeah, but we're only going to be here a couple more minutes the thing one of the most important things I think about this business is you should always be willing to learn and grow. And even if you already know the information, go back and always get refocused. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to be a game changer, but at the same time, I come to Saturday sessions. Number one, I'm still recruiting and inviting people to these. So you never outgrow the system. Does that make sense? Some people think, well, I've already done that. Well, the way you make anything to grow is you keep repeating the same process over and over. So it gets simpler and simpler, doesn't it? And you can do it faster and faster, And then on top of that, you constantly push other people to that same system. Some people say, I got some new stuff. Well, if the new stuff isn't the old stuff, then guess what? It's not really much, probably not much good, is it? That's the key to McDonald's. And really the whole world right now is turnkey. Does that make sense? Turnkey duplication. And so that's what it's all about. It's just turnkey duplicating the same process over and over. If you want to build a group of 1,000 people, once you get there, you want to go to 10,000. You do the exact same stuff, don't you? If you improved your credit in MyECon, guess how you tell somebody else to improve theirs? Do the same thing you did, right? Simplicity and duplication is the key. That's what we want to do. We want to be simple and we want to duplicate. Does that make sense for everybody?
Yes, sir.
So we get plenty of duplication training. That's what your Super Saturdays are all about. You can invite people from around the country. You can get everybody in Atlanta, whoever. They come here, guess what? The environment, the meetings, the trainings is going to help them elevate in their business, isn't it? That's what it's all about. And one of the things that I like to do in business is I like to always set new goals. Anybody got any goals? Anybody got any financial goals you haven't accomplished?
Yes.
Yeah, I got some, I got some, And so just set your goal. I always like to tell people, one thing you could look at is, let's say your goal is to become a millionaire. You want $1 million in your investment account, and you want to be a millionaire. Does that make sense? Well, to do that, one of the things that you can talk about is, society and the financial industry has trained people that the way you become a millionaire is to work your job and put money in your 401k or buy universal or index UL life insurance policy, or to buy an annuity, or to buy a mutual fund, or whatever. And those techniques are absolutely great because you're going to grow your finances. But if you ever sit down and said, okay, I want to be a millionaire, a debt-free millionaire, I want a net $1 million net worth in 10 years, you're going to probably find those techniques won't work by themselves. Does that make sense? In other words, they need to be in combination with something else. So in other words, if you sat down and you said, okay, I'm starting today and I want $1 million. I want an asset of $1 million. I want that asset to pay me, 10% a year, $100,000 a year. And I want to be there in 10 years. So in 10 years, if I choose to, I can stop working. I still got $100,000 a year coming in. Okay? Now you sit down and you do that you can use your calculator in MyECon, right? If you use your calculator, and what I'm talking about on your website, you'll have what's called the cash flow calculators, right? Everybody see that on your website? Okay? So then once you get there, you just put up there, $1 million. If I'm going to invest money, I'm going to get 10% return on my money. How much money do I have to invest monthly to have $1 million in 10 years? Well, we're going to see that's going to be pretty tough to do, isn't it? June, can you pull that up on your chart right there real quick? I'll keep talking while he does that so we can get out of here in the next 5, 6, 7 minutes. So let's say that number is $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month to have $1 million in 10 years. That's going to be tough to do, isn't it? Okay, that number is actually close to $5,000 a month if you want $1 million in 10 years, right? But the way that this whole country was built, everything you see out here in America, the wealth, okay? When you look at a person like Mark Zuckerberg and you say, well, how did he become a billionaire? Well, he didn't use that plan that tradition and society say is work, a job, or even build a business and take some of the money and put it in a mutual fund or ETF or annuity to get the $1 billion, did he? Didn't use that, did he? Okay. If you look at Oprah, didn't do it that way, did she? So go to the financial calculator. Let's pull that up real quick there. All right, so we got $1 million. Monthly investment to reach a specific goal, $1 million. 10%. So give us $1 million. I always use 8, but since I started with the word 10, I'm gonna make the math easy today. Okay. Now okay. So give me 8%, Jim. Give me 8%. All right. So, and we got 10 years. Okay. Calculate how much money we need. Scroll down. We need to invest $466 a month. Can't get that way, can we? But that is the method that most people in society teach. Am I correct? But don't work. It can make you a living. You can get there in 30 years or 40 years. Anybody willing to wait 20, 30, 40 years for your $1 million? No, you're not, is it? So what this real short class is going to do, it's going to get you to understand that God gave us one of the greatest gifts on earth, but it's blocked for most people. And that is, he gave us skills and talents. He gave us skills and talent that we can use to make room for us at the top. That's actually a scripture in the Bible. Because I give you gifts and talents to make room for you at the top. I give you gifts to make room for you at the top. So, people create wealth. See, in other words, most people, because they believe in what society and the financial services industry has taught, those things aren't bad, but they're not going to make you wealthy in no reasonable time that you desire. The math proves that, right? You're not really into math, okay? And so this really benefited me when I was young, because I'm like, I can't get there that way. So how do people come up with $1 million? You got to use a gift. You got to go to work and build a business. Go to work and build a business. Okay? So let's go back. Let's do it another way. Let's say you got in this business and you put 25 people a month on your entire team. Now, that might be tough the first 6 months, right? But at some point, that's going to be like too slow, right? But we're going to go 25 people a month for 10 years on your team. Okay, so how many people is that a year? 25 a month, 300 a year. On your entire team for 10 years. And you'd have how many people on your team? In 10 years. 3,000 people.
Yeah.
Now let's let half of them quit. And you would be a CEO Infinity. You'd have 1,500 people on your team. Making you $8 a month. And how much is that?
8,000.
No, sir.
No.
$12,000 a month on residual. Not counting up front money. Does that make sense? $12,000 a month. Now, $12,000 a month, let's just round it off at $150,000 a year. Does that make sense? Can we do that? So $150,000 a year income. So you build an asset that's generating $150,000 a year in annual income. Now that's called creating wealth. Because you used a gift, a talent, some labor that God gave you for how much? Free. To build $1 million asset. How much did it cost you? Nothing. Somebody said $34.95 a month? No, the government paid that. See, this is what I want you to start getting in your heart and in your mind, that you have the ability to build wealth at no cost, no risk. People say, I got to get a grant. No, you don't. I got to get a loan. No, you don't. See, I always tell people I turn $10 into millions and millions. But in reality, the government paid the bill. Because my tax write-offs was way more than $10. Does that make sense? And that's the way it works, right? Everybody understand? See, so what happens is when you start realizing that, you start to believe in business building. You start to believe in building an asset. Example, if you got a house, and that house is worth $200,000. Okay? Now let's do it. Okay? So what we're going to talk about is, when I say your CEO Infinity downline is worth and is paying you $12,500 a month, $150,000 a year. When I say that's worth, in reality, what that would be worth is 10 times what it earns. Is worth $1.5 million. That's in the most conservative terms. Does that make sense? All right, so you got a house, and let's be conservative. Let's say you got a house that's worth $150,000, and it's paid for. And you can rent that house out for $1,000 a month. Okay? Now, they don't value the house at $150,000 because somebody said that's what it cost to build it. Because you got a house that was built in Atlanta for $30,000 a year 20 years ago that's worth $150,000 now. They value it at $150,000 because if the house is paid for, that's the revenue that it can generate. So in other words, you evaluate things based on what it can generate. This hotel, let's say in this hotel, if it's here and they got 300 rooms and you can get $100 per night, okay? So you're talking $30,000 a night in revenue, then they add all that up. So let's just say this hotel generates a profit of $1 million in Atlanta, then they're going to say this hotel is worth $10 million. But if you put it in New York and it generates $2 million because you can get higher rents, now the hotel is going to be worth $20 million. Does that make sense? So when a lot of people think that when you evaluate something, it's based on what it costs to build it or what somebody said it's worth. No, when you evaluate businesses or assets, it's based on how much revenue can that entity produce on an annual basis. Does that make sense? All right, so if you build a business that's making $150,000 a year, You got a business that's worth $1.5 million. So now when you start to think that way, that okay, the best way for me to become a millionaire in 10 years or less is to do what? Build a business. Is build a business. You say, well, wait a minute, if that's the case, why did the financial services industry, why did America teach us every day that the key to becoming successful or a millionaire is to save? To build their business. See, there's nothing wrong with saving. Saving is good. Ain't nothing wrong with education. Education is wonderful. Because no matter what you do, you need education. Because education is what? Subject specific. So you gotta be educated on anything you do, right? I mean, if you do MyECon, you gotta have a financial education, right? If you go baker, you gotta have an education on baking. So education can't be the problem, can it? Okay? Saving is good. Saving, if you're building a business, it just makes sense to save your money, doesn't it? And invest as much money as you can. But if you're going to try to become a millionaire that way in 10 years or less, then it's almost impossible for the typical American, because we just showed it's going to cost you $5,400 a month to do that. Does that make sense? So that means that we have to develop a capitalistic mindset. See, some people are going to tell you, well, see, I just don't like, building a business, I mean, I just don't like, building them little things. You ever heard that before? That's because that person doesn't understand. If you're going to only travel at 5 miles an hour, it's going to take you forever if you plan on driving from here to New York. And when a person is just trying to save money every month out of their salary, isn't that going to take them forever? So in MyECon, we're hitting it multiple ways. Minimize your taxes, eliminate your debt, change your W-4. That's more cash flow. The more does that make sense? And then, of course, building your business. And from business, you're hitting it 2 ways. Because you get the commission check, you take part of that check and invest it. But at the same time, you're building the asset or creating the asset with gifts and talents that God gave you for free. And the government paid the bill. And see, if you just think about that every day, right? Then you come right back in there and put in the 5 things that Brian just got through talking to you about. See? Now, think about if you just go around understanding that every day and nourishing that information in your mindset, and then you prospect with that all the time. And then you pick and pass those people. Then you present. Promote. Plug and then promote. Does that make sense? So think about if you just did that all the time. It's what we do is simple because everything we do in this company all feeds into one concept. And that's you becoming a millionaire. See, our goal in MyECon, I'm done here, is we want to produce, and we will produce, 1 million millionaires. See, that's what MyECon is about. See, don't be afraid to think about becoming a millionaire. Don't even be afraid to say I'm building my $1 million empire or my multi-million-dollar empire. See, don't be afraid to say I'm building my $1 million, because guess what? Before you can do it, you got to think it. And see, society has gotten people to the point where they don't believe they can do it. See, they don't believe they can do it. They don't believe that's for them. I remember when I was young, and people would always say, they say this, well, what makes you think you're going to do all that? I don't think I'm going to do that. I know I'm going to do that. Well, what makes you think you're going to be different than everybody else who just made a living? I don't think that. I know that. God said he gave me power to gain wealth. And I believed him. See, I believed it. I just had to find the how. And I just showed you a how, didn't I? Now, there's a lot of hows you can do that. Somebody, guess what? Michael Jackson was dancing and singing. Didn't cost him a dime. Steph Curry, he ain't no bigger than nobody else in this room. He said, but I got something to do it with. I'm going to learn how to put this little ball in that hoop. And he made millions and millions. Does that make sense? Gifts and talents make room for us at the top. See, when people talk about all of these all of these programs to eliminate poverty, to enhance our community economically, let me tell you one of these. God says, I give you power to gain wealth. I give you gifts that make room for you at the top. He already gave it to you. You just got to apply it. See, look in society. Heinz, a multi-billion-dollar company. Simple recipes that somebody made. Simple recipes and started selling. God didn't have no Betty Crocker can't cook no cake. That's just an average cake at best. Is that right? At best. There ain't nothing exciting about that, is it? Ray Kroc over at McDonald's, they got, now you know that ain't the best burger you ever had, is it? That thing ain't even in the top 5, is it? But he used that gift and that talent to build wealth. See, it's independent of race, it's independent of religion, it's independent of you being good or bad. God says, I give you power to gain wealth. I give you gifts that make room for you at the top. So you got to start understanding on the inside of you, he already gave you the stuff to do it. All my kids, I tell them from the time they were just high, I said, look, God put it on the inside. I said, it's in there. Now you need to spend a little time with him and think about it and understand, okay, what's going to be your application? See, in MyECon, I just gave you an application. You start building, Ron just told you the how to, okay? With the 5 P's, he just told you how to, right? But you start doing that, and you build a team that's growing by 25 people a month. A month. Not you personally, your whole team. And in 10 years, you're going to build a company that's going to put hundreds of thousands of dollars in your pocket, and you're going to have a business that at the end of that's going to be, but you're going to be making money the whole time, that's going to be generating $150,000 a year in annual income, and it's going to be worth, on the most conservative estimate that you could ever imagine, $1.5 million. Debt-free. Debt-free. See, that's an application. See, that's no different than Michael Jackson mastering entertainment. Steph Curry mastering a basketball. Now you got to be dedicated to it. See, once you get your plan, right? See, I started off, I worth $1 million. And then, man, when I got that thing, I said, I better go a little higher. So then I said, well, you know, they do have billionaires in the world. See, I'm not gonna have you look at the number, but you know you can become a billionaire in MyECon. You can become a billionaire in MyECon. You know what the cost will be? Nothing. Government pay bill. What it cost Zuckerberg to become a billionaire? Nothing. What it cost Oprah to become a billionaire? Nothing. God gave her the talent to communicate. Everybody understand? Just real simple, isn't it? And see, when you take that away, you know, and then congratulate yourself. Guess what? You're here this morning. You know, a lot of people out doing whatever they're doing, but they're not committed to themselves and their own personal wealth that they are there. So let's continue to do that. Y'all have fun today? Yeah. Anybody got a question? Anything before I go?
Oh.
Yes, sir.
I've been sharing with my family a lot of these principles. MyECon, I haven't, I've been with it for about a year and a half now, but I never really looked to building a team because I own 2 other businesses within real estate and entertainment. But I realized how powerful it was for myself now that I want to build a team to share with others. So with all that being said, I want to overseas. Will that ever happen? Because I have family in Haiti, I got Jamaicans, Trinidadians, St. Lucians. And
it may. The question was, would we go overseas? It may. Probably not on my watch. You know, I'm 59. You know,
30.
so I got, you know, so I look at it like, we got less than 1/10 of 1% of the market in America.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so probably I would think in the next 10 years, now probably after that, you know, but I would say probably the next 10 years, we're just going to focus on the U.S.
No, definitely. True indeed.
Yeah. But at some point, you know, it's easy, the information is easily transferable around the world, though. It really is. It is. So, yeah, so probably in 10 years. Good question. But hey, the important thing is sharing it with your family, isn't it?
Yeah.
See, when you create your testimony or your promo, that becomes a big part of your education process right there, doesn't it? That becomes a big part of it. See, when you start talking to friends about, hey, you know, we're building our business with no net cost. You know, we started a company, we didn't have to get a grant, we didn't have to get a loan. You know, our business is debt-free. We're growing our business, you know, on a debt-free basis. Those are great conversation pieces, aren't they? All right. Thank y'all very much. I had fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.